Thank you. Yeah, it does feel like foreign. I can't mistake the fact that I'm from Glasgow. I'm from University of Glasgow. I live in Glasgow. I mean, you round off all these places that you're from, that you're born in Netherlands, born in Glasgow, live in Glasgow, work at University of Glasgow, been there since 2004. It's Company of Bleed Glasgow. What a note to leave me on, really, with cum. Thank you for that. And oddly enough, my week has involved quite a lot of cum, which is not necessarily normal or unwelcome. I ended up, I wasn't planning to talk about this, but I ended up consulting for a television show that had discovered the fact that spies might have, I probably shouldn't tell you because it's not going to tell you, spies used to use their own semen to write secret notes because there's a glow under ultraviolet light, and I had to plan this experiment for them to show it, and just the email exchange was absolutely beautiful. Like, thanks Jamie, the horse semen has arrived. How long does horse semen take to dry on paper? Yes, I'm a scientist, but that's out of all realms of anything I've ever dealt with. Anyway, slides. What is this? What I do? I don't use the clicker thing, don't I? That's not me. I'm going backwards as well, aren't I? The other one. The other what? The other button. That's a laser pointer.
It's difficult, right?
It is difficult, right? Yeah. Right. This way. There we go. Brilliant. So I'm kind of a chemist, a bit of a physicist, and a bit of an engineer, and generally work on nanotechnology, and that's what I was going to talk a little about today. So it's called Nano Invasion, or Reasons Why I Hate the Fantastic Voyage. I don't know if any of you have ever come across this film, where I'll mention this a little bit later. 4 women and 1 woman, because that's the most important part of this story. Shrink down below atomic size to enter someone's body and fix what's wrong with them. It's absolutely amazing and terrible film. So who I am, I like to explain who I am when I'm standing up in front of you, and this kind of summarises me and my life. I'm a science communicator. I love talking about science. A lot of people, why did you get into science communication? Is it to inspire the next generation? Everyone wants to inspire the next generation. I'm a 30-year-old man wearing a comic book t-shirt in a basement bar. I'm inspiring no one. I do science communication because I look at the way science is presented and I go, so that's kind of what my talk is on. So I'm a science communicator because I hate most science communication. It's awful. I wear a onesie to work because I work in nanotechnology, so I protect my work from me. This is me discussing duck necrophilia with Robin Innes, because science communication takes you extraordinary places, most of it involving sex. But with animals. Again, it's always horses or ducks or something like that. And sometimes, as I'm traveling around, sometimes you find a trampoline in the back of your garden and you want to jump on it, because sometimes scientists are people too, and we forget that. That's an important point. Scientists are people. Okay, nanotechnology. This is something you've maybe seen before. How big is it in nanotech? So is this fraction of a width of hair? It's a terrible example. Hairs vary in size depending by person to person. So real world, football, dice, smaller fruit fly. Here it is pretty small, down, blood cells, about 7 microns across, so again pretty small. But down at the area, kind of the width of DNA, that's nanoscale stuff. That's the stuff I work on. So the stuff I work on, never ever gonna see it. I kind of microscope and stuff, you're never gonna look at it, which is a bit of a shame. But it's really prevalent. Nanotechnology is an incredibly exciting area. We can use it for medicine, and that's really exciting. This is the kind of thing you'll see in the paper. And I want us to do tiny little, it's not really an experiment. Experiment makes it sound a little bit grand, but audience participation, because that's the kind of thing I do. Most of the time I talk to kids, and they like this kind of thing, so hopefully you will too. If not, tough. What I want you all to do, look at the timer, yeah, I'm fine. I want us to imagine that we are cells in the human body. So like this, blood cells, you're all individual cells now, just like those red blood cells up on the screen. I want you to then imagine that something has gone a little bit wrong. Let's make something go a little bit wrong. I can't see you, I'm just going to throw this into the darkness. So here's a thing, right? Catch the thing, maybe pass it back a couple of rows. It's just a red flag. Okay, now we've spread that out amongst a couple of you. So and can wave it at me, or just put it in your handbag, whichever. There we go. Right. So now, up at the back, you are damaged cells. You are a problem. And I want to kill these damaged cells. And I can do that in a few ways. One, I could just kill all of you. That's certainly an option. We'll see how the rest of this set goes. Another option is that I could launch myself into the audience, fight my way there, and destroy you myself. But that would be quite difficult as well. And so that's where nanotechnology comes in and becomes an incredibly useful tool. I've got something that will represent nanotechnology that I kind of put on the stage, and frankly, if you missed me doing that, then what were you doing? So there's a thing, this is going to represent nanotechnology. It won't work, it's never going to work, but we're going to try it anyway. It's a drone, and drones are fun, that's why we're doing it. Let me think, there's an app, oh no, there's The Room. Has anyone played The Room? It's amazing. Exactly, thank you. And then it loads up, so we just kind of wait now. Soon. There we go, right. It's already flashing. Too much angle, emergency. It's going to be fine. I did risk assess it, kind of. So what we have here is something that is more mobile and manoeuvrable than I am. So I could... This is the part that isn't really risk assessed. I can't even see you. At least it's gone up rather than down, because if it was down, it's going to be on you, right? So we have something that's small, should be manoeuvrable. That's why nanotechnology doesn't work. But anyway, we've got something small and manoeuvrable. Now, is that, you can put your flag thing down now. Nanotechnology, why does that not represent nanotechnology? Well, it needs a lot of parts. Let's think of the Fantastic Voyage. So let's again back to the cells. The premise of the Fantastic Voyage. Basically, these scientists shrink 4 men and a woman, and again, very, very important. If you watch a trailer for it, it's amazing. It's 4 men and a beautiful girl. What? They're shrinking down below the atomic size. Does it really, really, really matter their gender at this point? And they go in, and of course she has to be beautiful. There's a brilliant segment in the trailer. Again, the 3 minutes to sum this film up. And there's a man going, "This is no place for a woman. I need my technician," while she stands mute in the corner. Awful. Anyway, so why does that not represent? Why are we not doing the Fantastic Voyage with nanotechnology? For several reasons. That is actually quite a big thing. To move, that needs propellers. It needs a controller for me to work it. It needs a battery to power it. It needs a camera. These are a lot of things. Things that we can't shrink down to make small enough. And yet, in the media, in the Daily Mail, when you Google it, this is what you see. We can't build the buggers that small. It just doesn't work. Because you can't build batteries out of just 1 or 2 atoms. These things have to be fairly big. A better representation of nanotechnology is something like this. It's more like a cage or a network of atoms, which I shouldn't launch it in, but I will. I'll throw it into the audience. I literally cannot see you. This could hit you in the face. If it does, I'm going to blame you, okay? Because I'm warning you. I'm throwing it into the darkness. Try and get that to damaged area. Or just leave it on the floor. Again, nanotechnology useless. So that represents a big kind of cage. That's what nanotechnology looks like. All of this is nonsense. We can't build little grippy hands out of just 1 and 2 atoms. We can't build little submarines to go inside people. And yet the Fantastic Voyage has left this legacy of this is what technology looks like. And it's not. Sadly, it looks a little bit dull. Also, beware of any book that sells itself on author of the sequel. That's how they sell it. And again, 4 men and 1 woman. Why is that the most important part of the story? You only have like 10 words to sum up the story, and you have to say whether they've got a penis or not. It's ridiculous. Even if you Google nano, that comes up. What even is that? If you Google nano robots, you get this. People think this is what it looks like, and it doesn't. It looks so much duller, but it's really, really useful. So, not tiny little invading robots, big cages of atoms, useful, targeting little areas in the body, in quite a safe and controllable way. So, there you have it. Nanotechnology looks like that, not like the Fantastic Voyage, whether it's 4 men, 1 woman, or whoever you want to take with you. It's not going to happen. Thank you.